to go. Is it just me? Or are there more of those things now?
I fear the dimensional cataclysm is getting worse.
Well, the sooner we find Pierre, the sooner we can get to fixing all of this. Somehow.
We will find a way. Like always.
Oh, what a tune! In unrelated news, Ardolis be closed today for a private event. The execution of Pierre Lafaire. All trespassers shall be shot and or stabbed on sight. And remember Article 4 of the Pirate Code. Never blow up your own bloomin' ship.
Ratchet and Clank, a Rift Apart walkthrough. Here we are on a planet that I should have looked the name of before I started making this video, but that's alright. So we're looking for Pierre now, and this is kind of a complicated world, I guess. It's not difficult, really. None of the worlds in this game are super hard to navigate or anything, but there is a lot going on in this world. So first of all, we're going to run into the pirates again, and if you remember from the last time that I think we ran into them, we saw that there were now those shield pirates, so be expecting those guys, and there they are right now. So same as last time, Topiary Sprinkler is very good at dealing with them, and it's a pretty good idea to save the Sprinkler for them and then still get behind them and try to finish them off. But I'm also kind of cementing myself into my combo that I've talked about so much, so the Topiary Sprinkler, Glove of Doom, and Mr. Fungi, and
Pierre's still alive. I think we can take a shortcut through those caves to get to him.
Hurry, Ratchet.
then whatever other weapon that I feel like using. I really was trying to get the buzz blades to feel better, so I'm trying to use them more now, even though they really just don't do that much damage. I kind of felt like they should have, even at level 2, they should have done a little bit more damage, because you get those things, you get the buzz blades pretty late in the game, and it's just kind of weird when you're trying to level them up and you're pounding away on enemies that just won't die because the weapon's too weak. And it kind of incentivizes you just to use your stronger weapons, because it's a heck of a lot easier than trying to level these ones up. But I like the buzz blades, so I was trying to get them leveled up, but I think I kind of just abandoned it after a while. And I did later get them up to level 5 and fully upgraded them, and I still don't think they're nearly as good as they used to be. So that was a little bit disappointing, but such is the life of new games, you know. So in this little pirate cove, there's also going to be a lot of these fish that come after us. Buzzblades, or the, what's that, like pistol thing that we got at the beginning of the game. That's still very good for them. Remember, you can blow up a lot of those explosive boxes, or all of them, I think, just by stepping on them, kind of like Crash Bandicoot. I almost wonder if it is a reference to Crash Bandicoot in a way. Because, you know, these games seem to keep track of each other pretty well. I mean, the new Crash had dimensions, and this one has dimensions. This is the new Ratchet, though. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before. So I wonder, I'm pretty sure I talked about this before. Whatever, okay, we'll move on. We're going to find more of these pincher enemies that we've seen before, and they can be kind of annoying when your weapons are weak and you're trying to level them up. Just, you know, kill them the same way you always have. The lightning rod is easily probably one of my favorite weapons in this game. It's just such a dang cool weapon that can link so many, like damage so many enemies on that lightning link, on that tether arc, whatever you want to call it. And it's just such a great stun weapon. It's just such a great weapon. It's kind of unfortunate the shields are immune to it unless you hit them with the lightning rod from behind, or when they don't have their shield up, like right there. And that guy is still getting shocked even though he had his shield up, but he was frozen by the sprinkler. So that sprinkler really does work super well at taking those guys out. Okay, so I guess the left side is kind of where we want to go. So we're going to head on over here to the right side. You don't actually need... Yeah, was I going to try that? Okay, I guess so. I think I wanted to try boosting and then jumping over here. And then I just started hard falling, so I warped. I don't think you need to warp if you want to be fancy. But as I showed, it's pretty easy to mess that one up. And for some reason, this little section kind of reminds me of Doom Eternal. I think probably just because the... surprise of Doom Eternal having platforming in it. And I'm pretty sure one of the only real places that had platforming was the was a spot that had like a pillar and then you kind of went around a wall, so maybe that was why, but nothing really alike. These games are... Actually, you know what? These games look really good, and they're a ton of fun to play. So I guess these two games are a little bit alike in that way, but everything else, not so much. So we're gonna whack the button and then listen to some prisoners.
Nice bow. 'Tis beautiful, eh? All right. I see 'tis not an entirely fair trade. What if I give ye this bone and some head scritches? Ye drive a hard bargain. This bone, head scritches, and I will throw in me prized hat. But no more, so do not even think of asking. Okay, this bone, head scritches, me hat, and me ship. Just let me keep me booty. 'Tis all I have left. Fine, fine. Ye can have it all. Just get me out of here, Pop, please. I am begging ye. Curse ye.
So what are executions like?
Alright, once that little humor is over with, we'll come into a pretty big arena, and I came really close to dying here, or maybe I died and forgot to cut it out. I guess we'll find out. One issue with the way that I've recorded this game using the PlayStation 5's recording feature is that when I finally get the videos into a state that I can edit them, it's really choppy in the timeline. So fine editing, which I sometimes make a habit of, is a lot harder to do when the stupid timeline has like 5 FPS when you're trying to scrub through the stupid video, you know. So, I don't know, I remember struggling in this arena for some reason, but maybe it was another point. So I just thought that this arena is somewhat challenging. There are quite a few enemies that are going to be warping in. We're going to have to deal with a lot of these goons now, and I think maybe some robots, but maybe not. I guess we'll find out. There's my topiary sprinkler, finally level 5. That is just a glorious weapon, and if you're ever taking too much damage, just drop one down and stand next to it, and the enemies won't be able to do anything to you for a couple of seconds. And I still like the Negation Collider. I don't think we have the giant rocket launcher yet. That is a great weapon that I'm going to be making heavy use of once we finally get it, but for now we're going to be sticking with just the, I guess the younger brother of it, because this thing looks like it could disintegrate people into other realms, and maybe it is. I don't actually know how it works, but it's a cool dang weapon. Alright, so lots of shield pirates up here too, and Mr. Fun Guy, now that I think I have him fully upgraded now, he's got a lot of damage output, and he's doing a lot of the damage there, along with the bombs that I was throwing at those guys. So as always, topiary sprinkler to stop the shields, and then just blow them up however you see fit. Tons of bolts usually drop from large fights like these, and I'm going to take a look around and just make sure I don't miss anything super obvious. I thought maybe there'd be something inside of here, but it's just a bunch of boxes, so maybe we come down from there somewhere later. I don't really remember. No, it doesn't really even look like an elevator. I think it's just a place. Yeah, it's just a place. And we got dogs barking in the background, which is what happens when you have dogs, so ignore that. And then I'm also just... yeah, this is the kind of part I was talking about. If my scrubbing wasn't so choppy, I would have cut out me just looking around for collectibles, and we could be on our way. But I'm just going to head on into this little room, get some health and bolts and ammo, and now we can head into the next area. So, some people may be wondering, why do I hold triangle to change my weapons instead of using the numpad or the D-pad? And if you come on over here, you will fall down to this little beach, which has a ton of these pincher enemies. So we're going to actually be on this beach for a little while. It's really just a lot of this enemy fighting, and then I think some collectibles. Oh yeah, and a rift, so we'll go do that too. But anyway, as I was saying, why do I hold triangle all the time to change my weapons instead of favoriting them on the D-pad and then using the D-pad? And the answer is because if I push the weapons on the D-pad, it sure feels like it sometimes doesn't change weapons. And I vaguely remember that being an issue in the other Ratchet and Clank games too. Like, I feel like in all the other Ratchet and Clank games, I always hold the weapon wheel open to change weapons, because I just feel like enough times I push that stupid change weapon button and my weapon doesn't change. I don't know if it's an issue of me, like, not waiting for the right time. Do I have to wait for the animation to cancel or something like that? Or am I just not pushing the dang button hard enough? I have no idea. But whatever it is, I solved that problem just by using the D-pad. or by using the triangle menu. And as we saw with my rambling, there is actually quite a decent fight on this beach. So we had all those pincher enemies and all those, like, whatever the little enemies were. I can't remember, even though I saw it 5 seconds ago, I can't remember if they were, like, frogs or fish or whatever they were. And the giant shotgun, which I always forget the name of. I mean, there's like 20 weapons in this game. You can't blame me. That was a glorious weapon for dealing with all those enemies. And once they're clear, we're going to head on into the rift here. And as I've said before, I really just feel like these rifts could be a lot longer and a lot harder. At least some of the later ones, like maybe for the final armor upgrade, I thought they could have made them way harder and it would have been way more fun. But for now, they're really just, they're pretty short, they're pretty easy, where you had to temporarily jump on those explosive boxes. So that's somewhat creative, but other than that, it's just making sure that you don't miss the button prompt. And there we go. We have another piece of armor. I don't have any armor on Clank. I think I had some on Rivet now, but I really like keeping characters in my game kind of their default state, and I didn't really like a lot of the armors for Ratchet in this game. Rivet had some cool ones, like the pirate one with the scarf. That one was pretty cool. I didn't really think Ratchet's armor looked super great. Anyway, I fell off, which is one way to get back to the beginning, and already collected the armor, so don't need to worry about that. Then there's going to be more enemies down here, and I think we're free to leave if we want to, but like I said, it's not a bad idea to try to upgrade some of your weapons, and also just try to get whacked by as many off-screen enemies as humanly possible. That guy is praising the sun, but now he's just crab meat, so we'll get rid of him. Negation Collider, as much as I love it, is still only level 4, but it will hit level 5 eventually, don't worry. That weapon's problem is just a lack of ammo, and that is kind of annoying for some of the lower ammo weapons. Leveling them up can be harder, but as I've said before a million times by now, I'm sure, later on in the game, the enemies just drop so much experience when you kill them that it's super fast to upgrade your weapons. Alright, looks like I'm gonna have to go deal with some dogs in the backyard once I get done with this video. For now, I hope that's not too loud in the background. Sorry about that. For now, we're going to clear out the beach, and then we're going to head on over to the elevator and go back up. Alright, so our goal here is to find Pierre, and he's going to be right in front of us, but we also get a glimpse at the Kraken, and we're going to jump on over to the center here.
And now, that ship had to go boom on Molonov. One could even say it destroyed itself! Oh, bubbles! If anyone wanted to save moi, now would be...
Intruders! You can't stop the swift arm of justice, you...
Okay, now we need to sort of rescue Pierre by also fighting a lot of enemies that he keeps sending at us. At least I think he was the one. I kind of forgot already. Lots of games coming out. Like, there's a new one, Kenna and the Bridge of Spirits, and Metroid Dread. I cannot wait to play those ones. Alright, so there, with the Kraken kind of swinging away at that guy, we also noticed there was a bell that we're going to be able to hit in a little bit. All the enemies have to be cleared out first, and I think that bell is pretty much what we're going for. So, like pretty much every other group of enemies that we fought in this game, we're just going to take them out one by one and clear out the area. And there's not really a whole lot else to this video, so I'm going to stop it here, and I'll see you in the next one.
Merci! Merci! Now swing me onto the dock and get me away from this beast! Normally I would not have enemies, but you did save my life, and I am Pierre Lefebvre, gentleman extraordinaire! If you want an audience with Captain Quantum, you must complete the pirate trials.
What are those?
A tradition as old as grog, and how old pirates earn their colors. Head to Skull Mountain. If you complete the trials there, you will find the captain.